Now,
The cashier look at me, I'll be at one cashier, another cashier wave a hand at me, you know. And then one Sunday I was coming home from church. After they put this, this large lunchroom that they have over here, off of Pickett, down there, the country kitchen. That's the name of it, the country kitchen.
mm-hmm. Oh, country buffet.
I walked in there one Sunday, coming from church, my son-in-law and I walked in there, and I had a $20 bill, was in the line, gonna pay for my food, and this man walked up to me. I didn't know who he was. He said, "Lady," he said, "put your money back in your pocket, I'll take care of that." I said, "Well, what in the world is going on?" He said, "I see you've been to church." I said, "Yes, I have." Well, that man paid that bill. He said, "That's on me." I mean, I have met people all around just like that.
Did you ever know E.B. Henderson in Falls Church?
Oh, Eddie Henson
Yes.
and his wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know them?
Uh-huh.
What kind of things did you do with them? Did you ever go to any of their meetings?
No,
or?
he taught in Washington,
Right.
but I never went to any of their meetings.
Okay.
He was the NAACP man, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, but my father was too, but I never went to their meetings.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what your father said he did with the NAACP?
You know, the only thing that my father one day after I went to Falls Church, to live, my daddy called Reverend Costner.
Uh-huh.
You know Reverend Costner?
Uh-huh.
His church. Papa called down there and he said, "Reverend Costner, I want you to make sure that Etta gets out there and votes today." Well, I had to vote. I've been voting since I was 18.
So where did you vote in Falls Church?
Huh?
Where did you go to vote in Falls Church?
Lord have mercy, I don't know. That's been a long time ago. Started voting at 18.
And haven't stopped, huh?
Haven't stopped.
And you still driving now?
No, the doctor stopped me.
How long did you drive?
I started driving when I started in Luther Jackson because I didn't have any way of getting there. When I lived in Falls Church, I could catch a school bus and go.
Mm.
But after I moved up here, I didn't have no way to get there, so I bought me a car. And I went up to the Buick place up at Tyson's Corner. And I understand that that man is still living up there in Middleburg. That put the stuff under the car, you know. And I drove that. I said, "I'm going to buy me a brand new car. And if that don't work out, then I don't want no more." I bought me an 87 Buick.
So it was 1987 when you bought your car, huh?
When I bought that car. But then I bought a car from a man at Luther Jackson. That was a Buick too. It had double valves on the back. And his wife had left him. He said, and he couldn't pay child support. So he came over there one day to the school. I had a little green car then, and he said, "Lady, I'll sell you this car." It was practically a new car, Buick LeSabre. Let me show it to you.
Well, we'll look at it in a second, okay?
And it was a Buick LeSabre, and I kept that, but it only had 2 doors, and I don't like a car with 2 doors.
Yeah.
So I let that car go, and I bought me this one that I got rid of, that other Buick. And I kept that until the doctor stopped me from driving here about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Because, see, I fell in this hole once, and I come home from church one Sunday, and I don't know what I went in the kitchen for, But Sean downstairs said he heard something up here, and he came up here to see what that was that fell, and found me in the kitchen between the cabinet and the table.
Mm.
And they called the ambulance and took me to the doctor, and the doctor stopped me. So now I have a pacemaker.
So when you were little, what doctors did you go to?
Dr. Piper, Dr. Penn in Alexandria.
So you go all the way to Alexandria.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go by horse and buggy?
Yes, my daddy took us down there. Dr. Penn, and then after Dr. Penn died, Dr. Piper lived in Washington around the circle. And I went over there a few times. But then I didn't stay there too long. And then after that, Dr. Johnson in Falls Church. I went to him for a while. I worked for him too for a while.
What'd you do for him?
I was secretary. I used to help him. I used to help Dr. Johnson all.
So you worked with Clyde Hunter there?
No, Clyde was off. She was off for a while, sick. And then, of course, I worked at her place.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then I lived down there. I lived in Washington, too, for a while. You know where Sims Drive is? Not too far from the sanatorium.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to live with nobody else no longer, so I got a place in Washington, because my husband said he wasn't going. I said, well, you stay here, but I'm getting out of here. I'm going to get a place for myself. And I moved to Washington, and next 2 or 3 days here he come. And I stayed over there, and that's where Danny boy, that's the youngest son of mine, that's where Danny was born in Washington.
Was he born in Freedman's Hospital?
Uh-huh. Yeah, Children's, I think. See, they had a children's hospital.
Okay.
And that's where he was born. And when I called and told him I was in labor, and he come telling me, well, get the boy upstairs.